Namaste, my name is Dhieyo and welcome to my channel. Today I'll tell you about the ultimate goal of spirituality. Everything we do in our life, right from the time we wake up till we sleep, everything that we do has a beginning and an end. Okay, it could be even something as small as eating our food. We start by eating our food and there has to be an end. Can you imagine if there is no end to it? Okay, or for example, if you wake up, you have to sleep at some point. Let's say if you're trying somebody that, okay, I don't want it to end and I will keep awake, then obviously you start having health issues. You stop thinking straight. They say if you don't have the right amount of sleep, it's like being hungover. You're roaming around like you're hungover. So everything that we do has a beginning and has an end, and it's the same thing that is happening with a lot of people who are on this path of spirituality, where they just don't know where it's supposed to end. So now they're doing loads and loads of practices, yoga, meditation, mantra, chanting, reading, everything possible, but they just don't know which direction are they moving in. So once you know that, okay, this is what my ultimate goal is, you can start heading towards that direction. You can start taking your practice, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, to that particular end. Even spiritual practice, your spirituality journey has an end to it, which we will talk about today. So in earlier times, you could be an emperor or you could be a nobody like me, but everyone between an emperor and a nobody had one goal. That goal was to achieve a state of Sat Chit Anand, which means true consciousness bliss. And here is where things go wrong. I'll tell you further ahead. Now in your day-to-day life, in their day-to-day life, whatever responsibilities they had, they were not giving up those responsibilities. Okay, a farmer was farming, a king was ruling, a soldier was fighting, a businessman was doing his business, but deep down they all knew that they had to achieve a state of being which was called Sat Chit Anand. Now Sat means true, Chit means consciousness. Consciousness is that awareness that comes beyond those five senses that we have in. Is that intelligence, is that awareness. Sat Chit Anand. Now Anand, when you talk about Anand, everyone, because it's been translated, everything that is a word of a different language has to be translated, right? So Anand has been translated as bliss, and this is where things went wrong. That state that you're trying to achieve is an emotion, it's a feeling, nothing that this human world, this earthly world or this realm offers. So when you say Anand is bliss, bliss is what this earth offers, is what this body can experience. Sat Chit Anand always meant an experience out of this realm, out of what this body offers. That is the experience of the spirit, the soul. That's home. That was the importance of it. So why were they wanting to achieve that state of having that experience? Is because they got to know what home feels like once the soul leaves the body. Today when we go out of our homes, out of our country, we always coming back to the place where we know, okay, this is what home feels like. This is what my country feels like, my city feels like, my apartment feels like, my home feels like. Okay, but somehow when we are in this human form for such a long period of time, we start forgetting what home feels like. So the minute when the soul leaves the body, instead of it getting trapped in an illusion and coming back to the cycle of birth and rebirth, you are conditioning yourself to recognize, to feel what home feels like, what the spirit world feels like. So that word Anand has been translated as bliss. So now what is happening is people who know about this are trying to achieve bliss. They're seeing images of some sadhu sitting over there in the mountains, or somebody sitting there in the mountain with a slight smile on that face, and they're thinking that is what bliss is, that is what Anand is. You know, yes, bliss is that, you will feel that, but that again, it's a feeling of this human emotion, this earthly experience. So when you feel Anand, when you feel Sat Chit Anand, true consciousness, Anand, okay, you will not be able to describe what it is. If you can describe it, if you can express it, then you haven't felt it. It's nothing. So my previous video where I made a video called Achieve Everything by Being Nothing. Okay, this is a state which I said that throughout the time we are roaming around, our mind is constantly in past, present and future. That gap between past, present, future is nothing. For a fraction of a second when we are in that state is where our guides and angels give us that light bulb moment idea that we get. for our experience, that knowledge that we're looking for, which a lot of people say, oh, it was a light bulb moment, and we have this idea that's come in our mind now. So that nothingness is a state that you are supposed to be achieving. That was the true ultimate goal of spirituality. So your yoga was always done to break somebody's personality. That okay, you want to come on the spiritual path, break this entire personality of who you are, what you are, your name, nationality, gender, break all of that. The guru would break that personality, form a new personality that now you can follow on your path to spirituality. Is anyone doing yoga for those reasons? No, they're not. Okay, your meditation, your chant was all to manipulate the system. Okay, now you know what home feels like. Now you know what your reality is. You're a spirit in a human form. You can manipulate this Maya. You can manipulate this matrix into giving you what you want, making your stay over here much more smoother. Now once you've realized that, okay, this is where you are and you are here now, whatever it is, okay, might as well enjoy it. Might as well make use of everything, every pleasure this realm offers. Okay. It offers difficulty also, it offers pleasure also. Forget the difficulty, start enjoying it. So this is why mantras and chanting and all these other mudras were given for our benefit, for our freedom. To now that you are here, you might as well enjoy it. This was the main reason behind it. So Sat Chit Anand had no meaning. If you are going to experience it, if you're going to experience something like this in your practice, and then you can express what you felt, you've not felt it then. The minute you have no words to express it, even somebody says, even if you do this, that means I don't know. I don't know is also an experience of this world. You will have no expression, no nothing to describe what you felt. That is what Anand is. So now when people are meditating on the actual practice, there's a lot of practice and everyone is on a different path. So the practice used to be given according to what path you are in. One practice cannot be given to everyone. So even now if I tell you, okay, I will teach you, there are 500 other people on the channel who are probably watching it and are going to be doing it the wrong way because they're on a different path. But the core exercise, the core practice for this was always sitting in your meditation pose and concentrating on the fact that you're not this body but you're a soul. मैं ये शरीर नहीं, मैं आत्मा हूँ. I'm not this body, I'm a spirit. Or aham atma, I'm a spirit, I'm a soul. That was a practice. So now when you're constantly concentrating on your breath and you're going on saying, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit, I'm not this body, you're conditioning your breath. You're conditioning your breath to that thought process that you're not this body, you're not a soul. So it is important you take this practice in your day-to-day life. When you're in your house, when you're in your work, when you're playing, when you're watching something, or you're driving around, or you're just sitting down, your breath is always there with you, right? So you've conditioned your breath. Now the minute you need to keep realizing that, you concentrate on your breath, or even if it is on your third eye, if you're sitting here concentrating on your third eye, that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit, मैं शरीर नहीं, मैं आत्मा हूँ, अहम आत्मा. Okay, you could be anywhere. Take this practice into your day-to-day life. This is how it was done in the earlier times. They were not leaving their responsibilities, they were not leaving their business, their families and career, and just 24/7 sitting like this. No. They were practicing this and using this practice in your day-to-day life. That's the main importance of it. So when you start practicing this, you will at some point reach that experience which is called Sat Chit Anand. So when I meet a lot of people who've been into spirituality for a very long time, and you ask them what your goal is, what are you trying to achieve, they just don't know. They're just very happy doing yoga, meditation and mantra and chanting and talking about it and wearing those clothes and all those perfect look for it. But this is the actual ultimate goal of spirituality, is to experience that feeling of home. That's the best way of explaining it. You've experienced home, you know what home feels like. When your soul leaves the body, it knows which direction to go to and not towards the illusion to get trapped into the cycle of birth and rebirth. So your ultimate goal of spirituality is to reach Sat Chit Anand. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel. Until I see you again, have a good life. Namaste.